Real Madrid beat their rivals Atletico in the Madrid derby 3-2, and there's a bit of controversy to talk about, principally the principally I'm talking Spanish and English, who cares? Uh, Main point of the controversy being Valverde's red card. I'm not gonna explain why I believe this is not a red card. Uh, Clearly, he was heading for the ball. Well, I'll leave that to the Comité de Árbitros. They'll figure it out. But continuing on with the video, yeah, we beat Atletico Madrid in a match that needed to be won if we wanted to somewhat challenge for the title. Although I think Madrid is not gonna be able to win this title again, just simply no. But it's always good to go into an international break with a win, especially against a big rival. And well, for Atletico Madrid, this loss is catastrophic. I want to say how it is. They lost the points. They lost Llorente for the match against Barcelona. Yeah, this is catastrophic for Atletico. No way to put it. But yeah, we won, and I do want to go over a little matches before for some other matches before I leave. And the first one being Vallecano versus Barcelona, which obviously the so this match was gonna define Barcelona's title. Will they have an easy title fight or a hard one? And I think they will have an easy title fight. The draw, this was asking for a draw, but Joan Garcia just saved them. So, what can I say? Barcelona was getting, not cooked, I wouldn't say cooked, but they were getting outplayed by Vallecano multiple times, and they had more chances, I believe. Let me check the statistics. So, yeah, Vallecano had more total chances, and it just looked like they were trying for that. Vallecano is a team that has to be studied along with Getafe. It's a team of fighters, of never give up, and they always perform good against the other teams. Uh, Never get your ratings from football because I don't believe any of them. These are just bad. But going back to the Madrid match, and no, I almost forgot. How could I forget? You know what match did I actually see? I did see a very important English match. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, let's just click on City and Arsenal. City beat Arsenal to become EFL Cup champions. The sixth in 10 years for Pep Guardiola, and another trophy Arsenal misses on. So, what can I say? First half I didn't see it, but then I dropped in the second half, and I could tell you this. City dominated for most of the second half. No chance for Arsenal to score in the second half. And I gotta say, Doku is an impressive player to see. Cherky was acting as everything midfielder. I'm talking like he was moving in this line. I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna move to the whiteboard part to explain the Atletico match, not the City match. But Ryan Cherky was moving everywhere in the center and was doing every work in the attack. Rodri was fantastic. Bernardo Silva was fantastic. O'Reilly taken from the book of Haaland, and yeah, and Mateus Nunes again. And I really think it was a well-deserved win. And Arsenal were just meh. To be fair, they had Kepa on goal, and I do gotta speak about the refereeing these two matches, Atletico and Arsenal match and everything. The refereeing is so bad nowadays. There was a play where Doku got here. Kepa was outside the box. Like, we're talking here. Kepa was outside the box. Doku had gotten off. Yeah, it was a foul by Kepa, but advantage. If Doku would have put a center, it would have a free goal for Arsenal, for Manchester City. But the referee overturned a free goal for a foul that Kepa did. So now, like, they went from a easy scoring opportunity to a free kick. Yeah, okay, it's a free kick, but just let the play go, man. Just let the play go. Doku. Oh shit. Who cares? Doku was alone, had beaten the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper had failed in stopping Doku, and he was outside the box. It was an open net, and the referee stops it. I don't know what's going on with refereeing these years, but it's just not working. We got VAR for no reason, and We need to start getting better refs. And yeah, oh, AI takes robots. I mean, AI takes jobs, but come on, man. If an AI can detect when to give that or not, maybe we should trust sometimes. Because this was a horrible mistake. Just as much as Madrid's red card. I don't know what to say about refereeing anymore because there's so many standards, but everyone wants the same good standard, especially because English referees are allowed to referee in Champions League, and so are Spanish refs. So what is the point? What are we doing? We're losing the plot. Who cares about refs? Let's go to the whiteboard. So here we got a rough overview of Real Madrid's lineup and Atletico's lineup. As you can see, Madrid has been lining up in this particular formation for the past matches. Ever since Mbappe got injured and Bellingham got injured, they always had five midfielders. Five midfielders. And they always line up like this. I forgot to put the Valverde's name. And Atletico Madrid in the classical 4-4-2, Simeone style, nothing too complicated. To begin the match, with bad news for Real Madrid. Midway through the track, because of course we were in attack, Atletico closed down, putting everything into the box, making sure Madrid doesn't try to score. And Madrid is up here. Valverde is doing whatever. Tchouaméni is here. Forget the positioning because I don't have the exact positioning, but turns out Rudiger and Dean Huijsen are the only two people here. And the ball is lost around here. Not exactly, I don't know where. But Lookman is already running before the ball is recovering. So Rudiger, Tchouaméni, and this guy have to get back. And come on, man. And he just runs. And Atletico is just super fast. Simeone arrives in the box. And he passes the ball here, gets the ball here. Simeone runs here. Valverde does very well recovering to block Simeone. So now they're like this. And Simeone stays in this position. He's right over the ball. Simeone reaches this position. And these two link up pretty well, Lookman and Simeone. So Lookman does the run, passes to Simeone. Simeone holds up Rudiger, passes it again to Lookman. Lookman passes it again to Simeone, and Simeone does a back heel pass back to him. Already here, and it's an easy goal. It's just how it is. And then comes what we expected from Real Madrid, which is obvious. So wait a minute, I forgot the first goal, how it was. Oh yeah, I remember. Brahim, in his flow state, like I like to say, of Brahim, does a couple dribbles, drives in Hanko to do a penalty. Hanko gets drawn in to do a penalty. Brahim, you know Brahim, he loves doing retiring players from time to time. And in this situation, Hanko just couldn't bear Brahim, and he put the foot in, and Brahim just let himself be trapped by the foot. It was a mini penalty, pretty good penalty and all. Second goal comes from a Atletico mistake. Complete Atletico collapse. Let me just set up the pitch again, which is gonna be a bit hard because I don't know things, but okay. Let's set up again back to normal. Let's set it up. So Atletico are playing from the back. The story goes, Atletico are playing from the back. Atletico are playing from the back in their typical manner. Federico, Carvajal are pretty close. They're pressing right now. And, well, there's one mistake that goes on here with Koke. I don't know who was the mistake. I'm not gonna, actually, I rate Koke much, so I'm just gonna change places so that you understand what I mean. Whoever was here, not exactly Ruggeri, does a pass in front of Valverde. And it's not even a good one, because Valverde is right next to Koke. He wins the ball here. leaves him in the dust, and just scores it. Valverde is the best midfielder out there right now. Valverde is the best midfielder out there right now. And also, in the first minute, I have to search the video clip. But the first minute of the match, he does the same thing he did to Donnarumma, to Man City. Has the ball here, receives the ball, puts it past the goalkeeper, and he just starts running, and he starts running, and he starts running, and he fails the shot. It hits the crossbar, and then Atletico over attacking, and this guy comes down here to defend in the same play back to back. Valverde is an incredible player. Too bad the red card sacrifices him for the next two matches. Although I don't think it was a red card. I think it should have been a yellow. But again, I'm gonna let Real Madrid do the complaint for me because this one is very outrageously not a red card. And I don't care who talks to me. I don't care who tells me. This was not a red card. I'm gonna leave that because I am happy right now that we won against Atletico because it keeps our title hopes alive. But it's still, and yeah, Valverde and Vinicius. The first two goals were 2-1. The comeback is on, and then second half comes around. Lulu Nahuel Molina enters the pitch and decides that, you know what, I'll score a banger, and he does. Now, defensively speaking, you don't stop a 25-meter goal, whatever, from happening, but I think they could have done better because, well, both Dino Isen and Fran Garcia do not block him, and they fail to block him. Of course, I'm not gonna blame them for not blocking a right back shooting a 25-meter shot because you don't expect a right back to do that. But again, we have Valverde, and you don't expect a center midfielder, defensive midfielder that can play basically every. Okay, Valverde is a different case. Forget Valverde. Molina, we didn't know Molina had this in his inventory, but I guess the two goals he scored this season, the one against Getafe and this one, just show that you can never count away any player. Because Molina just woke up and decided, you know what, I'm going to shoot a banger against my greatest rival in El Bernabeu, in their stadium, and I'm going to score it. And you know what? He did it. He did score it. Congratulations. And then the third goal for Real Madrid comes from a typical Vinicius cut-in. I have to rephrase it. Vinicius loves to do this movement. Come here, cut in, and shoot. That's his favorite movement. He takes here Hanko Ruggeri because now, with the changes of Molina and everything, Molina is covering this, and Llorente moves to the midfield, and I think that kind of loses Vinicius' mark because none of these are fast enough to cover Vinicius. Only Llorente is. So Vinicius grabs the ball, runs, goes into the space, just shoots, puts it like he loves to do it into the far post, curling it in. It's just Vinicius. Come on, it's just Vinicius. Well, time to analyze the goals, shall we? Maybe I'll analyze some of the long shots Atletico did because they were very interesting. Julian, and Molina. What the fuck was that, man? Who cares? We're gonna just review the goals because I don't feel like finding the video clips actually. So let's go. Well, I was saying prior in the video, as you can tell, this whole left flank was left alone. I'm pretty sure this was not. Again, I did wrong the analysis, but this was, I believe, Ruggeri coming in. Ruggeri receives the ball out in the pitch. Giuliano does fantastically, dragging Huijsen with him, and then he just puts in a fucking back heel that is just. I mean, that play was beautiful. They scored a wonderful goal. I mean, me and my father who were watching the match, we really didn't process it until like after, and we were like, damn, we have to climb up the mountain now. And it was a pretty good goal. Of course, then came the penalty, which was pretty standard penalty, but I would say it was a pretty good taken penalty. You can say like, wow, the ball just goes super fast, and yeah, the goalkeeper is completely out of position. It's a good goal. It's a good goal, and I have no complaints with it. It was a wonderful goal. As I was saying, the second goal of Atletico is a fucking masterpiece. Not because he's tactically sound, but because just look at it. I don't have to speak. Just look at it. What do you do? What do you do? Like I was saying, Brahim, Frank Garcia, maybe don't cover him enough. But you're not expecting a right back to hit this shot. Especially a right back who's only scored once in the season. To be fair, his only other goal was a similar goal to this. It's a screamer. It's the definition of the best goal in the match. It's the best goal of the match. Maybe of the week. I don't know any other matches that happen, but this is a wonderful goal, and I have nothing to say. I gotta say that this derby, Madrid derby, was very good. If you were a neutral fan that doesn't hate Madrid, doesn't hate Atletico de Madrid, doesn't hate Barcelona, well, if you hate Atletico de Madrid, of course, it's a good match. A neutral fan, if you're a neutral fan that doesn't have hard feelings for any of these, this was a good match because it had 5 goals. All the time the teams were pressing, all the time the teams were defending. It had a red card, it had controversy, entertaining match. You couldn't relax. Well, on to the next goal, which is a Vini masterpiece, which he loves to do, and he loves to score that goal always. He does it always, but you'll see what I mean. So this is the second goal of Real Madrid to establish la remontada. Valverde just a bullet, man. Come on, running fast like a bullet. Run until you score a goal, Valverde is scoring goals like crazy. He's the best player of Real Madrid right now. Assist, defense, scores. What else can I ask from a midfielder who can play right back, right winger, center midfielder, center defensive midfielder, maybe even Cam, I don't know. Like I said, he steals the ball off of Hanko. The press coming from Brahim, by the way, not Carvajal, Brahim. Brahim, Carvajal, and Valverde, the trio were having an insane match. Carvajal had to be subbed off, and even then, Trent did a massive job. Just a good match for the right side of Real Madrid. This system that Arbeloa has going right now is very good. What will happen when Mbappe eventually is put into the starting 11 and we have to remove Brahim and then Bellingham has to come in, so you have to decide between Thiago Pitarch and Arda Güler, and I don't want to see it because right now Real Madrid's midfield with 5 midfielders feels very dynamic. What we were missing all the season, like last season and this season, we were missing that dynamic midfield that we had with Modric and Kroos. Now we have it again. It's still progressing, but the midfielders are scoring, they're positioning, they're passing, they're putting everything in charge. The midfield is midfielding. What we missed the entire seasons, like the 2 last seasons, with Xabi Alonso and Carleto Ancelotti in his last year and Arbeloa at the start, is happening now. And the key here is that we have 5 midfielders. We can overload the midfield, something most teams don't do. And we have a dynamic midfield. Arda Güler can attack if he wants. Tchouaméni can attack if he wants. Valverde can attack if he wants. Thiago Pitarch can attack. Brahim can attack. And all of them can come back too. All of them put in defensive work. This is all mounting up to a great midfield that Madrid needs to fight Bayern Munich. So I really hope that we see this system again against Bayern. Even if it's at the cost of Mbappe or Bellingham. But to win a trophy, you need to pull sacrifices. In the situation that Madrid put itself, we cannot win La Liga. Forget about winning La Liga. Yeah, we just beat our greatest rival. It doesn't matter. We beat Atletico, but Atletico is going to go play with Barcelona. And if they don't win, we're still in the same position as we were before because Barcelona won today. So no, this does put us in hopes of winning La Liga, but it doesn't confirm anything. In fact, this day just proves that again Barcelona are 4 points clear, and they might stay 4 points clear until the end of the season. The only other trophy we have a real chance at winning is the Champions League because we are Real Madrid. We have that Real Madrid DNA or whatever, and if we beat Bayern Munich, we are favorites. Just simply put, if we beat Bayern Munich, we're favorites. I don't think we're gonna beat them because Bayern Munich are clearly more professional. They're clearly more involved in their tactics. They have youngsters, they have veterans, and they're all playing at a good level. They don't have like mediocre players who play. Yeah, sometimes no. Harry Kane always delivers. Lucho Diaz always delivers. Michael Olise always delivers. Lennon Klan delivers. Not always, but delivers. Uh, Kimmich delivers. They have everything. Maybe except the goalkeeper because they lost like so many of them. They're in the fourth goalkeeper. I don't know if they still have. Neuer is ready, but we don't have Courtois, so we're even. It just has to be that the system Arbeloa is playing right now has to be the one we play against Bayern, or we will be losing. Here we have Madrid's third goal, and I just gotta say first, Trent comes from liberating himself in the midfield. Mbappe draws in some space here. It drags Llorente out, leaving Vinicius alone. And again, the mark of Vinicius should be Llorente at all times, because Llorente is fast, is intense. Vinicius did not have a good match because of him, although he won man of the match because he scored the 2 goals. So I keep saying he didn't have a good match, and the same thing I said about the City game, but he did basically the same thing in scoring 2 goals. So maybe I need to shut the fuck up sometimes. But Llorente is out of his mark, and this is where Atletico committed the greatest mistake of letting Vinicius cut in. Llorente activates too late, and Vinicius just does his favorite move, which is just curling it in. What can I say? Classic Vinicius goal. Vinicius loves doing this. He always tries to cut in to do this. He's never to put it in, but yeah. But I do want to mark that Mbappe did pretty good here, although I don't think he did it intentionally. He was asking genuinely for the ball. Although I don't know if a Trent pass would have ended up in a goal. Trent did well, just passing it to Vinicius, and Vinny just did it fantastic. I keep saying Vinicius because I say it in English, but it's Vinicius. Vinicius does it very good. Vinicius scores a fantastic goal here. He's classic, his masterpiece. So to end the video, yeah. Today in football was an interesting day. We saw City win the EFL Cup, and Real Madrid win against their rivals, and Barcelona win. Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day for football. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, expect some edits on this match and Atletico's match because I don't do a Barcelona's match. I don't do Barcelona. Sorry to the one person who actually watches my videos and my edits and my clips and whatever. But yeah, on to the next video. Probably like in 2 weeks when the international break is over. Maybe I'll cover the international break of Spain, and I don't know if I'll cover any Mexico matches because Mexico just sucks. I just stay with Spain, which is my other country of origin, and really, and I would do Dominican Republic if they played, but they don't play. Just like I would do on many other countries that don't play. If San Marino had a match, I would, but yeah, who watches San Marino or cares about analysis? Actually, if San Marino win, I might do an analysis. Yeah, okay, make it as a promise. If San Marino play and they win, I do an analysis and an edit on San Marino. So on to the next video. Expect an edit maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe when I'm not bored. Well, see ya.